Good morning from Aulani for our final day in Hawaii. We have one thing planned that we couldn't do during the cruise portion that we saved for today. I know what you might be thinking, why are you leaving Aulani? Well, that's because we're going to go check out the Jurassic Park filming locations on the northern part of Oahu. So today we're going to get in the Tesla, we're going to drive about an hour north to the filming locations and go on this tour. It was like, I want to say it was like $140 a person, so it was a little pricey, but we're going to go check it out, and then when we're done with the tour, we're going to come back here and relax a little bit more on our final day before we set off back to Orlando. We're inviting you guys to join us, so if you're ready,
let's go.
So we've made it to Kualoa Ranch, which was established back in 1850. It's about an hour drive from Aulani.
A beautiful hour drive.
Yeah, I got to go through a tunnel.
Yeah.
See some amazing mountains like that. And here we are. This is the check-in area for our Jurassic Park location tour. Oh man, this is where we're gonna go see this guy and maybe that pterodactyl.
Long back, as the mountain represents the body of a giant mo'o, or lizard. We'll get into that legend later on. I'll show you the side of the mountain that looks like a giant lizard too. To start off this one, I'm going to give you a quick little history of the ranch itself. Kualoa Ranch is made up of 3 land subdivisions, or Ahu Pua'a. We're in the central section of the ranch right now, Ahu Pua'a Kualoa. This section was purchased back in 1850 by a man named Garrett P. Judd. Dr. Judd was a medical missionary for those seeking asylum, as well as a place for the Ali'i, or Hawaiian nobility, to learn how to govern. Many of whom have their final resting place in these mountains, hence why hiking is prohibited. Obviously, you came for the Jurassic movie, so I'm going to endeavor to get into them as much as possible throughout our tour. Looking forward to I'll point out some of the other movie sites as we pass by them, just to kind of make it a well-balanced experience altogether. But the first thing we're going to see on our way up to our first stop is going to be the gates from Jurassic World, where after Zach and Gray, the 2 brothers, hotwire that 1992 Jeep. They come barreling through one of the side gates for Jurassic World. That's when we up ahead with a raptor on either side of that entrance. Going back to our World War II era, family, use your imagination. We're going to clear out the tree line on our right-hand side. Imagine we have a clear line of sight out to the ocean. First up on the right, we have this U-shaped platform. This was a brace for trucks with anti-aircraft guns. Now back up against this, having a clear shot out to sea. This one here is facing east. The other one up ahead is facing north. And here on the right, family, we have a communications bunker. And of course, next to it here with the door off of its hinge is my studio apartment. It's $1,200 a month, family. No utilities, open door policy. You come visit anytime you like. I'm actually thinking of turning that one into an Airbnb. What do you guys think? So now this right here is the entrance to the bunker. Up ahead where you see the bus and the other crowd of people, that's where you're going to exit from.
So here we are in a battery bunker, overlooking quite the view of the ocean. So here's the layout of the bunker that we're in, because this property was used for World War II before it was used for movies. Yep, so this is what it looked like when they prepared for the worst. Disaster preparedness. These are some of the shows and movies that were produced on this ranch. My favorite show, Lost. And then these are some of the movies. Jurassic, Jumanji, Jurassic Park, Pearl Harbor, and here's a scale model of the Ka'awa Valley for the movie Wind Talkers back in 2002. Wow. Yep, here it is right here, starring Nicolas Cage. Here's some props from Jumanji, the more recent movie. Noise.
Is it a dinosaur?
I don't know. Tears of the Sun. 51st dates. These are some of the stills from the movies. Sounds like a dinosaur, Jen.
I know.
Ah, yes, the Jurassic World scene, the gyrosphere. Some dinosaurs.
Oh, look at the view.
And there's babies. That's funny. And then you got the vehicles of the Jurassic World.
You want to take my picture?
Sure, I'll take your picture. Just an amazing view from up here. You can actually see some surfers out there. Just bobbing around looking for the right wave. And then we got this amazing, oh yeah, look at this view. The mountainside, and they got the ATVs. It's kind of cool. That's our truck right there. Say hello to the ATVs.
Next stop is going to be the field where that scene with the Pinzgauer Jeep was filmed. So those of you that got good pictures with that, if you have like half decent Photoshop skills, you can combine the two pictures, make your own scene from Jurassic World. We're only going to be there about 5 minutes just to get some pictures of the valley. Then we're going to go on to the log from Jurassic Park, the one scene that was filmed here for it. After that, we're going to go up to the gyrosphere platform overlooking the valley, then to the bunker from Fallen Kingdom where Owen, Claire, and Franklin are running down as the volcano erupts. After that, we're going to cross all the way back through here to the jungle side of our ranch, past where the helicopter pad was, and finally our last stop is going to be the Indominus Rex paddock. In Jurassic World, the monorail was CGI'd on the backside of the mountain right behind our truck. And then on the mountain on my right side, not the one in the middle, but the one on the right, the far left edge, that's actually the volcano from Isla Nublar. That's the one that erupts in Fallen Kingdom as Owen, Claire, and Franklin are running down the hill. Now, throughout our tour, we're going to get closer and closer to that. So kind of keep an eye on it, make sure it doesn't pop on us. No, we're fine. I'm going to drop the gate so we can cross over here, get some photos in the area. Just for a reminder, family, like I said, this is an active cattle ranch. The cows do come through here, so please be mindful of where you step. Instead of playing the floor is lava, we're going to play the floor is caca.
Did you tear up
Yeah.
back there when he played the song?
Yeah. Because he played it as we turned into here.
Yeah.
And this is Jurassic Valley. And like,
It's cool.
it's Jurassic Valley. I just can't.
Geeking out.
Nerd moment.
Alright, family, now, as I mentioned earlier, only one scene from the original Jurassic Park is filmed here at Kualoa Ranch. Originally they were filming over on the island of Kauai, and that was until September 1992 when Hurricane Iniki came to the islands. It was a Category 5 hurricane, and it was bad. Originally it was going to avoid Kauai until a pressure system northeast of it changed its direction. Now, thankfully, the cast and the crew were able to get notified the morning of and were able to get to the safety of the shelters. However, at the same time, Steven Spielberg grabs a camera crew and they go outside and start filming the hurricane. Because when life gives you lemons or 100-mile-an-hour winds, you make lemonade or really cool movie shots. So, Pam, if you go back and watch the original Jurassic Park after today and you see those wide shots of the storm approaching the island, yeah, not special effects. That's Hurricane Iniki. They used it in the movie. And so thankfully that craft was perfected by the time they got over here. The scouts discovered Kualoa Ranch Private Nature Reserve and the perfect landscape for the final scene they wanted to film. This is the last scene to film, but it's an earlier scene in the actual movie. Our Kualoa Ranch Private Nature Reserve sign, you'll see the hill and the tree here at the bottom. And that tree is still the original tree from this scene. It's just a lot smaller in the original scene. You got Dr. Alan Grant and the two Hammond grandchildren up on the hill. Watching a flock of Gallimimus dinosaur running around, and Dr. Grant comments that they behave like a flock of birds evading a predator. Tim realizing they're flocking this way, so they start running down the hill, all the Gallimimus running down with them. They make it over to the log on our left-hand side, jumping over it and ducking underneath it as the Gallimimus pass by. That's kind of what's left of the log, but and just before they think the coast is clear, out comes the T-Rex grabbing one of the Gallimimus, and they realize this might be a kind of dangerous situation here. So what we're going to do, family, is I'm going to show you a little movie magic. We're going to turn the truck around, I'm going to drop the gate, we're going to walk over to the log. Each group, we're going to do two pictures, one in front, just like a regular photo. The second, I'm going to have you go behind the log And I have a friend I brought with me. I'm going to make it look like she's going to eat you. After we do the group shots, if anyone wants to do individual pictures, you want a picture of you punching a T-Rex in the face, you want to feed your significant other or another loved one in the family to a T-Rex, we can make it happen. Get creative. I am all for it.
So we just got done taking photos in front of the Jurassic Park sign. And he managed to bring a little dinosaur prop with him, so we got a fun little picture of the dinosaur coming in. It's called Movie Magic.
My favorite photo of the trip.
So here's the gyrosphere loading station scene. Right here from Jurassic World. Wow. Cool view.
So, family, this is the gyrosphere platform from Jurassic World. Featuring Fallen Kingdom as well, but the main scene you'll remember is from Jurassic World when Zach and Gray, the two brothers, get into the gyrosphere, launching off into the jungle. And as soon as they leave, the operator gets a call from security. The Indominus has escaped and he's got to shut the ride down. Now, if you saw that poster, there's hundreds of people waiting to get on this ride. As he turns to them all nervous and goes, sorry guys, the ride's closed, gotta get back on the monorail and get back to safety. Trying to read the manual as he goes. And they're all starting to get upset, starting to yell at him, everyone's starting to murmur, getting upset. And he just digs deep down, and anyone that's ever worked retail can empathize with their operators. He goes, come on guys, I just work here. Now the two holes here indicate where the brothers got into the gyrosphere itself, which was just a chassis. All the glass, that's all added effects. To film a giant glass ball would have reflected too much. So when they were done filming, they offered to leave the chassis with us for the low, low price of $1 million. We said, no thanks. Take that back to Universal Studios, because it was a prop. It would have just rusted here. It would have not been good. Now, if you remember the bunkers that we saw earlier on in our tour, we're going to see a couple bunkers in our next couple of stops. These were built for Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. These are made out of plaster, styrofoam, chicken wire, and plywood, but from a distance they look pretty real. This was one of the exceptions that we made. You'll notice this is an actual concrete platform with a wood structure and glass panels above it. We made the exception because, one, we knew we wanted to retain this for the tour, but also this area here, and the one I pointed out from Jumanji earlier, have both been used as wedding venues. Cool. So, small little wedding, that's not bad. Now, so for the next few minutes, I know some of you want to get some great pictures, so the corner here is the sweet spot to get the mountains and the ocean in the background. I'm happy to take those for you. While we're being courteous to each other, enjoy the fresh air, family. Those of you staying in Waikiki, you'll notice it doesn't smell like chlorine and sunscreen. I've been there on the beachfront in Waikiki, and I can just go banana boat.
Yep, so this is where everybody was standing, waiting in line for the gyrosphere movie. And there should have been a sign, I guess right here? According to the picture.
Now the bunker itself doesn't go very deep in. It only goes about maybe 12 feet, enough to put a camera in so you can film Claire and Franklin entering the bunker. Now this is the entrance to the bunker in Fallen Kingdom. Claire and Franklin go inside the quality control room so they can reset the system to track down Blue and the IRAX. It's because the log's made of styrofoam. It's not real. The bunker itself, again, you can see some of those elements there, the plywood, the plaster, the styrofoam. Next to it is a cage there with the raptor inside. And Captain, you're welcome to take pictures of the raptor. You're welcome to get inside the cage with the raptor. The only thing we ask is that you don't try to ride the raptor. Someone else did, and now she doesn't have a tail. If you miss an opportunity to get a picture of that Zigzag Jeep at our first stop, we have another one here, although the one at the bunker is the top used in the movie. In your mind, if you connect those two, that's the top of the volcano that gets blown apart, sending chunks of lava and rock shooting across the sky as Owen, Claire, and Franklin gather up at that bunker up top where the red and white radio tower are. Running down the hill towards us, and about right here, they duck behind a gyrosphere with a big log behind it. And they're taking cover as the stampede of dinosaurs comes through, taking off chunks of that log left and right. Eventually, Owen puts Claire and Franklin into the gyrosphere as they continue making their way downhill towards the ocean. Again, if you're brave enough, we can get a picture of getting up on the fourth rung. You can get your leg right there. You take the picture from that side, it'll look pretty good. We also have the 10,000 volt sign if you need to charge your phone. Here is a replica Hawaiian village that was used as the set for the Jason Momoa show, Chief of War, on Apple TV. Now, if you've seen the show, when we were here filming, production could stop us for about 3 minutes to do a take, and then we'd be able to drive on through because they didn't buy out the tours. So you imagine us looking to the right and seeing Jason Momoa and crew in traditional Marlowe's loincloth style outfits. A bunch of mostly half-naked guys. Ladies on the buses and trucks were screaming. Guys on the buses and trucks were screaming. They'd actually jump on the buses and trucks to take pictures with people. And so while the production's yelling at us to go faster, everyone's moving slow. Everyone's got their phones out, taking pictures, taking videos until all their memories is used up. Ooh, and nobody's here. So no one to photobomb your pictures here. Now family, all of the bones that you see here are 100% real styrofoam plastic. On the right side of the field you'll see a tribute there to Mighty Joe Young. And on the farthest right is, it'll say the Jurassic Valley log. From taking a picture of that log, you see a lot of the sites that we were up at earlier, the gyrosphere platform, the bunker, all that good stuff. I'll go through here nice and slow, so when you're grabbing pictures. But you might be familiar with the term tiki. In fact, these are called ki'i. From left to right, there is Ku, the god of war. Kane, god of fresh water. Lono, god of agriculture. And Kanaloa, god of the ocean. Under each of these are another 10,000 gods apiece.
The Mosasaurus, the big water dinosaur. That's the one that jumps out of the water, gets the shark. Later on, it gets the babysitter. At the end of the movie, it's the big hero. It takes out the Indominus. Now, the frame of the Mosasaurus tank was San Diego SeaWorld, but the body of water they filmed from was Li'i fish ponds over here on the left side. Now, these fish ponds are over 850 years old. They used to feed four of the ahupua'a on this side of the island, including Hakipu'u, Kualoa, Ka'ava, and Kahana. As I mentioned before, Kualoa translates as long back, represents the body of a giant mo'o or lizard. As the legend goes, Pele, the volcano goddess, is over on the big island, trying to send a message over to Oahu, but she can't come herself. So she sends her sister, Hi'iaka. Upon arriving, she's confronted by this massive creature, and they fight it out for 3 days. At the end of 3 days, Hi'iaka prevails, killing the creature, cutting off its tail, throwing the body to the land where it becomes the mountain range. The tail thrown out to the sea where it coils up and becomes Mokuli'i Island in Chinaman's Hat.
This is where they discover she's got active camouflage, can control her thermal output, and has torn out her own tracker. And one by one, she takes out the entire squad. Now, family, we're going to see briefly where she escaped from. Ohana and friends, I bring you the Indominus Rex paddock. There's a lot to see while we're here. First up, we have raptors in the cage on the right, raptors in the open on the left. The observation deck up top has some posters and pictures from the movie. That's accessed by a stairway on the back side of the wall, so you can go up there. And then, of course, the iconic claw marks here in front of us. The same practical effects specialist that does the claws also does my sister's nails.
So we're in the Indominus Rex paddock, or the set for that. What do you think?
This is awesome.
You like this?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. Where do you want to go? Do you want to look at the raptors, or do you want to go up the steps and go to the
Let's do
paddock?
the steps. I feel like everybody's kind of going
Okay.
that way.
Real steel? This? Not.
This is such a good tour.
You love dinosaurs, so
I
this is
do.
right down your alley. Look at this. I think it's cool how we get to just explore the set.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's cool. Oh, look, there's a Napa.
Oh yeah, Island Nublar. That's cool. And different scenes from the movie. That's cool. It's the iPad. This is the scene shot here from this spot. Some behind the scenes footage. Oh, he mentioned that monster. Look. Yep, this is it. Right at the top of that. Yep, this is it. What do you think?
So cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just don't look down. Wow. That's pretty cool. And there's some raptors in the paddock. And you got the viewing area where we were just at. That's cool. And you got some raptors in these little cages over here. You got this guy right here. He's like, please let me out. Please let me out. The Indominus Rex is coming. And to which I say, you're not real.
Well, he's real. He was real at some point.
So at one point, Chris Pratt was seen looking out over the paddock from those windows. And now we're in that paddock. How'd you get in there?
I don't know. Help, let me out.
Sure you didn't just go walk up there?
Oh.
Spoiled. Movie magic. Spoiled.
Magic.
It's pretty cool seeing the scratch marks on the paddock. Pretty neat. It's funny to think that that's all styrofoam. It's not actual concrete. They've done a good job making it look real. Yeah. But it is definitely styrofoam, you can
Yeah.
see. That's too
Crazy.
funny. Movie magic.
Movie magic.
Groups from all over. We're kind of having a bit of a dinosaur gold rush. Trying to find the coolest new boats to show off to the world, and these new fascinating discoveries are really grabbing our attention big time. And that was up until 1923 when a team of scientists from the American Natural History Museum discovered the first non-avian dinosaur eggs in Mongolia. That's 1923. It would take 60 years before anyone bothered to look inside. A paleontologist comes along by the name of Jack Horner. If you look up Jack Horner, he was the inspiration for the character of John Hammond. So Jack Horner, John Hammond. Both of them have this idea, this philosophy of setting the scientific method aside when it comes to the experiments, but really looking for that which is ready to be discovered. And so he just knew there was something about these dinosaur eggs he wanted to discover more about. He wanted to open them up, but no one wanted to give him any of theirs, so he goes on a couple of expeditions of his own, acquiring a few dinosaur eggs and starts opening them up. And in 1983, he discovers evidence of the first dinosaur embryos. Nothing viable, but enough evidence for us to say, hey, one day with the right technology, we might be able to recreate something similar to the dinosaurs, or bring them back to life. Wouldn't that be cool? Well, that inspires an author by the name of Michael Crichton, who decides to take this idea and write a book, kind of a what-if scenario. What if we could bring dinosaurs back to life? What would that be like? How would we try to commercialize that? What would be the consequences of doing so? And so, after a couple of years of hard work, in 1990 it releases a novel by the name of Jurassic Park. And so, after some more time passes, Steven Spielberg comes across it, decides he's going to make the movie adaptation of this, and only him. 3 short years is all it took from 1990 to 1993. As you remember, when June 11th, 1993 is when Jurassic Park premiered in theaters in Washington, D.C., my hometown, and the world is taken by storm and becomes this massive part of our pop culture. We're talking lunchboxes, backpacks, Legos. Just became a huge part of our identity. And how many 5-year-olds do you ask what's your favorite dinosaur?
And just like any other Disney attraction in Orlando, you exit into a gift shop. Very big gift shop with plenty of different Jurassic Park references and different dinosaur merch. Or if you're just interested in just the normal Kualoa Ranch logo, they've got that on plenty of merch as well. So, very cool tour.
That was
Got to see
awesome.
the Jurassic Valley.
Yes.
It was fun.
That was awesome.
What'd you think about? You're a big Jurassic Park fan. Did it meet the criteria of fandom?
Yes, it did. It was awesome. And I want to do it again.
You got a souvenir.
You
got several, actually.
I did.
What'd you get?
I got a Christmas order or a magnet. And then
cool.
I got a Christmas ornament.
That's cool too.
And then I got the coolest
cool
t-shirt.
Shirt.
Front.
Yep. Jurassic Valley.
Great, right? Great,
Kualoa Ranch, Hawaii.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it gets better.
Whoa.
Dinosaur claws.
footprints. That's cool.
Yes.
That's neat.
I saw it and I was like,
That'll be mine.
This is mine.
I think now we're gonna head back into the Tesla and head back over to Aulani, and by the time we get there, we should be able to see our final sunset in Hawaii before we head back home on a long travel day tomorrow. Oh, it's gonna be a red-eye flight. Anytime you're flying back from Hawaii, you lose a day, it seems.
It's gonna be a long day.
But I mean, we gained a day or half a
Yes.
day coming over here slowly on the cruise ship. So now we're just gonna lose it all in one fell swoop. Yep. So I have to say, I've been enjoying my ride with the Tesla. It's been super fun. It's like driving a spaceship. It's pretty awesome. So unfortunately, we missed the sunset. We got stuck in some minor traffic on the way back that caused us to miss the sunset. Sunset is pretty quick here, I'm noticing.
It's still got the orange.
The orange hue.
It also started raining on the way back, so I don't know how well it would have been. So.
Yeah. So we're gonna go down to the beach. I think we'll round out our honeymoon trek there. What do you say?
I don't want to go.
I know.
I love it.
It's very pretty. So the sun has set on today's adventure, but there is one more storyteller with Uncle. I want to watch that and see that, and then I think we'll round out our Aulani day, our Aulani trip. It was short-lived, but it was cool. Check it off the list. So we both ended up going to Ulu Cafe to get ourselves a Dole Whip, because when in Rome, or in this case, when in Copolina,
When in Aulani.
Aulani, when in Hawaii,
Gotta get a Dole
we
Whip.
gotta get a Dole Whip. So we got our Dole Whip while we wait for Uncle to come tell us a story of Aulani.
Well, hello, good evening. Welcome to the Circle of Alaipula, to our sometime fire pit here in Aulani, where we share our mo'olelo, where we share our stories, and mostly it's just me. I do a bunch of talking. Now, my name is Uncle Aito. He, him. I'm one of the caretakers here in Aulani. Which means that most of the time I go around, I change light bulbs, I trim hedges, I mow lawns, light data entry, stuff like that. But one of the perks of my job with Deems Fit, I get to come out here, tell some stories, share a little bit of the culture of Hawaii, and sing ever so slightly off-key. All right, let's boldly venture forth together, find out how off-key I am this evening. Let me start with a song. Aloha, e como mai, e kulaniku, o me nanea. Aloha, e hoi mai, e kulaniku, o me hai, ina kapuana, o kulaniku, o me. Bring it home. Oahu, e hoi mai, e kulaniku, o me haina, kapuana, o kulaniku, o me, o kulaniku, o me. you're very kind, very trembly. Hey, wait. Well, that is a song called the Aulani Hula, and it's a special song for us here at Aulani, as it talks a little bit about what we do. The words, they go, aloha e komo mai, hello and welcome, come on in, to Aulani Ku'uhome, to Aulani our home. Then the song we say, na nea I ka Waikolohe, go enjoy the relaxing waters of Waikolohe Valley, go swim in the pools, go have the hot tubs, go down the slides. And then the song we say, holoaku, go out on an adventure, go out explore the rest of our beautiful island of Oahu. But e ho'i mai, but return to us here in Aulani our home. And then the song ends with so many of our Hawaiian songs, if you listen closely, with the words, ha'ina ia mai ana kapuana la, which means now the story's told. In this case, the story of our home right here at Aulani. Now, speaking of our home here at Aulani, the story I'm going to share with you folks this evening is one of my favorite stories to tell here. I do love to tell this story. And one of the reasons I love to tell this story particularly is because this story involves a place you might be familiar with. It's a place down in that direction. It's a place called Pu'uloa. Now, Pu'uloa was a very important place back in the days of old, as there are lots of local i'a or fish ponds there, lots of beautiful white sandy beaches, lots of great fishing spots and surfing spots. And Pu'uloa served as a gathering place for all the people of the Ewa district of Oahu. Now, Ewa should sound familiar to some of you, because some of you are staying right over here in the Ewa Tower, far, far, far beyond Oahu shores. There were so many visitors there at Pu'uloa that there was a very special protector of the place, and her name was Ka'ahupahau. And it was Ka'ahupahau's job to keep the peace amongst all the visitors there. You know what? I just put this thing down, but one of the reasons I like to tell the story is because the story comes with a song. It's a song called Pupu Ao Ewa. Now, Pupu in Hawaiian means seashell, and Ewa, of course, refers to that district. But here the song is not just about seashells. Indeed, the seashells are a metaphor for the industrious people of Ewa. And the song talks about how those people would gather there at Pu'uloa and shine like seashells in the shore. All right, I think I got it, all right. Listen closely for the name of our protector, that name being Ka'ahupahau. And the name of that place I've been talking about ad nauseum, that place called Pu'uloa. All right, here we go. Pupu Ao Ewa. Ao Ewa I kanu ana kanaka e naue mai. Ai I ke ka mea ho, o ka aina a he aina ua kaulana. Mai na hupuna mai, alohua puloa he ala hele no ka the stuff I was talking about, it comes on like right at the end, yeah? I know, I say it kind of fast, so you cannot tell how off key I really am. But listen close, I go try them again. Ao Ewa I kanu ana kanaka e naue mai. Ai I ke ka mea ho, o ka aina a he aina ua kaulana. Mai na kupuna mai, alohula puloa he ala hele no ka upahau. If you listen very closely, very sharply indeed, you will hear the phrase Alahula Pu'uloa he alahele no Ka'ahupahau. And what that phrase means basically is that Pu'uloa was Ka'ahupahau's home. And she knew every nook and cranny, every corner of the place, every grain of sand, if you will. Now Ka'ahupahau, our protector, she wasn't just any old person. In fact, to be quite frank with you, she wasn't really a person at all. She was a very special mano. Oh, that's a good word to learn. I need your help here, friends. E hoa pili mai, repeat after me. Mano. Mano. Let me hear mano. Mano. And that is how you say shark in Hawaiian. And she wasn't just any old mano either. She was the queen shark of all of Oahu. And she was our protector, our defender there at Pu'uloa. In order to keep the peace amongst all the visitors that would come there, the visitors from the skies, the visitors from the seas, the visitors from the land, like us, she had some rules that she made sure everybody would follow. Kind of like the rules that you folks might have. And there at Pu'uloa, it was no different. There at Pu'uloa, our host, Ka'ahupahau, she had 1, 2, 3 rules of her own. And these are kind of important. Rule number 1, take care of each other. Take care of each other. To start, at least 3 people said it. Right? It's really hard when there's a lot of you, there's only one of me. And yet I'm so much louder than any of you, right? Even together, I don't think you guys can be louder than me. All right, rule number 2, always tell the truth.
Always tell the truth.
I almost heard that one. Always tell the truth. And finally, rule number 3. This one was more for the sharks than for the humans. No eating people.
No eating people.
That one is generally the easiest rule to remember. But the other 2 are pretty important too. So following these 3 rules, everybody at Pu'uloa got along. Or at least they did. Until one day when, would let them take their picture. That's cool. One day when 11 Mano came to visit a mischievous shark named Nikololo. And Nikololo came all the way from the big island of Hawaii, and he didn't come to follow any rules. Oh no, he came to cause some trouble. He came to fill his belly with people! Now you might hear that's an old Hawaiian custom that we bring a whole kupu. We bring a gift when we go and visit someone. It's one of the ways we take care of our hosts as they take care of us. Ooh, that sounds like one of the rules, yeah? What's rule number 1?
Take care of each other.
And that's the first rule that Nikololo broke. He brought no such gift for his host, Kahupahau. He just lurked outside the harbor, sniffing, smelling all those tasty-looking people inside. Kahupahau, she noticed him out there, and she called out to him. She said, "Hui, what are you doing out there?" "Oh, nothing," replied Nikololo. "I'm just admiring all these tasty-looking crabs." Yeah, crabs. Well, Kahupahau, she was no dummy. She could tell from that sly look on Nikololo's face that, well, he wasn't talking about crabs, was he? Indeed, he was lying. Which, of course, breaks rule number 2. What's rule number 2? Always tell the truth. And that's the second rule that Nikololo broke. As if lying itself weren't bad enough, he was lying about eating what? Which, of course, breaks rule number 3. What's rule number 3?
No eating people.
Got any more than that? What's rule number 3?
No eating people.
That's 1, 2, 3 strikes. It was time to kick Nikololo out. So Kahupahau rallied all the people of Eba together, gathered everyone there on the beach, and she had the fishermen of the area go out and lay a series of long nets stretching all the way across the harbor there at Pu'uloa. Now Nikololo, that mischievous Mano, he had traveled all the way from the big island of Hawaii, all the way here to Oahu, all the way to the harbor there at Pu'uloa to get himself some dinner. He wasn't about to be stopped by some flimsy little nets, oh no. He was a very hungry and a very determined Mano, and he charged. And he tore through the first net, and he tore through another, and another still, until finally, only one single solitary net remained. The net with the smallest eyes. And that was the one that caught Nikololo. The people of Pu'uloa rallied together. They grabbed onto that net and they pulled. They dragged that giant shark up onto the shore where they left him to dry out in the hot, hot sun. Ooh. The sun was so hot that day that giant Mano shriveled up in its heat, getting smaller and smaller and smaller still, until finally all that remained of Nikololo was his tongue, sizzling there on the shore. The people of Pu'uloa, they went back to their normal lives, back to their fishing, their surfing, their sandcastle making. When the little Elio, a little dog, came cruising along, just a beach dog. The dog noticed something there on the shore and he circled it, because that's what dogs do when they check stuff out. He pawed at it, he sniffed at it, he tasted it. Now what do you folks think a hungry little beach dog would do with a nice, tasty, meaty, savory morsel of shark tongue jerky like that? Well, he ate it up. And that would seem to be the end of Nikololo, no? Except not quite. You see, the sun was so hot that it dried up that giant shark. It was hot enough to make that little dog want to go for a swim. So the dog ran down the beach, ran down to the edge of the shore, and he jumped into the water. But when he did, something began to change. The dog's body began to grow. Its legs began to shrink, its face changed shape, elongating. Its skin turned gray, and out of its back sprouted, bing, a fin. You see, even though that giant Mano had shriveled up in the heat of the sun, all of his mana, his spiritual power, the very essence of his being, well, his mana didn't dry up with him. Instead, it concentrated to what remained of the shark, namely his tongue. So that little dog ate of the shark's tongue and then jumped into the ocean, back into the shark's home. The mana of the shark overtook the dog, and that little Elio, that little dog, became that giant Mano, that big shark. Nikololo had been saved by his tongue, so to speak. Now, even though that mischievous, malevolent, monstrous, murderous, mammoth, man-eating Mano called Nikololo had escaped with his life, he was smart enough to know there was time to leave town, and he left the harbor. And he swam all the way back to his home at the big island of Hawaii, never to bother the peaceful people of Pu'uloa again. O ewa I ka nu ana kanaka e nau e mai, a I ke ka mea ho, o ka aina a e aina o ka lata, maina uta mai, alo Pu'uloa e ala hele no ka ahupa. Now that's a pretty famous song where I'm from. That's how big and weird to some of you. There's another version with English lyrics, travel a little wider, not quite a translation. Pearly shells from the ocean, shining in the sun, covering the shore. When I see them, my heart tells me that I love you more than all those little pearly shells. Ala hula pula, he ala hele no ka ahupa.
So that's going to do it for us at our quick stay at Aulani. I know it wasn't very detailed We didn't do like a resort tour or anything like that. To be quite honest, we wanted to keep it mostly to us. This was kind of, we took you guys on a 10-night journey. We took you to Vancouver, and we wanted to cover some parts of Aulani, but we also wanted to kind of see it through our own eyes as opposed to the lens. And I think that was important. So
Yeah.
I had a fun time at Aulani. I know you did as well. This is something that you've always wanted.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. It 2 nights, which is what we did here, it's clearly not enough at Aulani.
No.
So we're going to be coming back at some point and actually just doing Aulani, which I think is really cool. But we wanted to check this off the list of places we've never been, Disney
Yeah.
resorts, and I think it's important that we did that. So,
Yeah, I loved it.
what was your favorite part of Aulani?
The sunsets
Yeah. Oh,
in
yeah.
Aulani.
Well-
There's nothing like it.
What was your favorite part of today?
Kualoa Ranch.
Kualoa Ranch.
Kualoa Ranch.
Kualoa Ranch.
The Jurassic Park
You
experience.
loved it. You loved it.
He was so good, our tour guide. He was awesome. He like played music at the perfect times. Like the Jurassic Park
Yeah.
theme song right when you go into Jurassic Valley. Ah,
It was great.
it was
great.
so good.
And it's been fun driving around the island in a Tesla, I have to say. It's been a fun little way to end up the entire honeymoon. A lot of people ended up leaving the cruise and going straight home, and we just couldn't do that. It was just, we were too close to Aulani and too close to some of the things we wanted to do here on Oahu to just turn around and get on a plane and go back. So
Yeah.
I feel like we did a good job of kind of hitting up some of those last minute things. I think at the end of it, we're going to look at it and say, yeah, we would have liked more time at Aulani and probably spent more time in the pools and stuff like that. However, we got a lot of the things we really wanted and set out to do
Yeah.
in Hawaii.
Yeah, he
We got it
wanted a
done.
Tesla. I wanted Jurassic Park experience.
Yep, so we did. It was a fun trip.
Yeah, it was great.
And thus begins tomorrow, the long trek home.
Which we will not be filming.
5.5 hours on a plane to LA, and then 5.5 hours from LA to Orlando on a red-eye flight. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great.
Let us sleep for a little
Right.
bit, and then we'll get these videos
Yes.
out.
Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, enjoyed all the vlogs that we've done from our honeymoon, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. And if you haven't yet and you want to join the trek for future vlog adventures, Jen, tell them what to do.
Well, first off, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It's pretty awesome.
But make sure to tap that subscribe button and tap that notification bell to become a super the honeymoon trick subscriber.
Until next time,
See you real soon.